All right, let's dive into something that, honestly, could completely flip the script on how you see your spiritual life. What if I told you that the Great Cosmic War, well, what if I told you it's already over?
You know that feeling, right? Does life sometimes just feel like this relentless struggle, like you're caught in the middle of some giant cosmic tug-of-war?
Yeah, it's a picture we all have in our heads, this ongoing contest where we're just desperately trying to hold our ground. It's totally exhausting, and it's a worldview that's built on this idea of two equal powers locked in this endless fight. Okay, so let's start right there. In this first section, we're going to challenge that whole idea. Is it really a tug of war, or have we maybe fundamentally misunderstood what's actually going on? And this is where things start to get really interesting. Now, the feeling of conflict, that's real, for sure. But what if our interpretation is off? We feel pressure, and our mind immediately slaps a label on it. Battle. But what if that pressure isn't a sign of a war at all? And that brings us to our next big idea, where everything, and I mean everything, changes. We're about to shift from thinking about a cosmic contest to understanding a cosmic settlement, because the verdict, it's already in. This quote just nails it, doesn't it? What if all the shaking and the noise we experience, what if those aren't signs of an active war, but they're just the echoes, the tremors of a battle that has already been won? It's not a fight, it's the collapse of something that's already defeated. Okay, this is the absolute heart of the matter. The resurrection wasn't just this incredible miracle, it was a legal event. Seriously, think of it like Heaven's Supreme Court, taking the file, stamping it accepted, and officially closing the case on sin and death. This was it, the final, irreversible verdict that settled the whole thing once and for all. So let's just say it plainly. The war is won. The old order isn't making a comeback, it's decaying. The activity we see from darkness isn't a sign of its strength, it's a sign of its expiration date. We're not living in a war zone, we're living in the demolition zone of a kingdom that's already been condemned. Okay, so that's the big picture. But what does this cosmic court case mean for you? For me? Well, this next part explores the most mind-blowing implication of all. It fundamentally changes who you are. Just look at this breakdown. It's a total game changer. The old way of thinking is all about self-improvement, right? We're just a fixed-up, slightly better version of our old selves. But the reality of the verdict is so much more radical. It's not about being a modified human, it's about being an entirely new creation, a new species born of God. And because of this new identity, heaven's legal verdict over you is set in stone. It's not up for debate. It's not based on how good you were this week. The declaration is final, not guilty, not condemned, not cursed, not estranged. The case is permanently 100% closed. All right, I know what you're probably thinking right now. Okay, but if the war is over and the case is closed, then why is there still so much noise? Why does it still feel like a fight sometimes? That's a great question, and we're tackling it head on. I mean, it's the elephant in the room, isn't it? You look at all the chaos in the world and our lives, and it's easy to think, this sure doesn't look like a defeated enemy. So what's the piece we're missing here? And this is the distinction that changes everything. There's a huge difference between activity and authority. A defeated enemy can absolutely still be active. It can have a presence. It can make a ton of noise. But what it lacks, what it has been stripped of, is legitimate authority, real power, and any legal standing in heaven's court. All it has left is suggestion and bluster. I love this analogy because it makes it so clear. The sparks that fly off a dying fire don't mean the inferno is coming back. A criminal who's been condemned might thrash around and make a scene, but it doesn't change the sentence one bit. Activity does not equal authority. Okay, so we've laid out the what. Now for the big so what. How do we go from just knowing this truth in our heads to actually truly living from this place of victory? Think about it like this. This three-part process explains why we still feel that tension. At the moment of salvation, your spirit was made brand new, instantly, done. Your body, that gets its ultimate transformation in the future. But your mind is the place where the transformation is ongoing, continual. It's the part of you that has to be trained, day by day, to catch up to the incredible reality your spirit is already living in. And this right here, this is a massive mindset shift. Our job is no longer to be the defendant in some endless trial, constantly fighting off accusations to prove our innocence. No, our role has changed. We are now officers of the court, and our job is to enforce a verdict that has already been decided. So how do you do that? How do you enforce the verdict? Well, it starts with agreement. You have to consciously agree with your new identity over your old feelings. It means renewing your mind to what's true, and then, when a lie shows up, you don't debate it. You recognize it for what it is, illegal trespassing on settled territory, and you speak from your position of authority.
You see, at the end of the day, the real fight isn't for ground. It's for your awareness. The enemy's only real strategy is to keep you in the dark, to keep you from realizing the victory you already have. Because the second you become aware of your true identity and your real authority, the whole game changes.
So I'll just leave you with this one question to chew on. What changes in your thoughts, your fears, your daily actions when you stop living like your case is still on trial and you start living like your case is already, finally, closed?